Hi, John.
Hey, Liz. Looks like another wonderful show. Elizabeth Wilson graduated from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts in 1984 and is now having her first solo museum show. It will be up at the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art in Altoona through December 4th, 2022. Her show features 30 landscape paintings that trace her life over the past 2 decades through travel and pandemic isolation. Full disclosure, my wife and I have been close friends with Liz for decades and even spent time together in England, which is one of her favorite painting haunts. Liz, what are viewers going to see?
My paintings document a spirit of place, be it the English countryside, Maine's rocky summit of Cadillac Mountain at dusk, the coastline of Newport, Rhode Island, majestic views from an ancient Italian city, the bluffs along the coast of the Long Island Sound, or my own backyard.
What did you find so close to home?
During the pandemic, I began taking daily walks to the woods near where I live. The woods seemed like a giant stage set, evolving and changing with the time of day, the weather, and the seasons. This was a source for a body of work.
When you first look out at a scene, what gets you going?
For me, the sky is the most interesting, thought-provoking part of the landscape. The sky is a space for transition and impending weather, never predictable and almost always in flux. I'm fascinated by how the sky with its weather and light act upon the fixed forms of the landscape. From the elements of sky and land, I make little environments, a whole world of them. Sometimes they are based on reality, other times they are entirely invented. They are souvenirs of my observation and my thoughts.
In a press statement, the museum said, Wilson's work embodies a strong sense of time, place, and visual harmony, achieved in part through a balance of precision and careful editing that at times shifts towards abstraction. As the pandemic continued, Elizabeth revisited subject matter painted previously, working in the studio by referencing older paintings, sketches, photographs, memory, and at times working from imagination. Liz, how do you use your various source materials?
Along with sketches and color studies done on location, I also take photographs. Sometimes I only take photographs. I strive to compose the photograph well from the start. The light, shadow, shape, color, texture, composition, essentially the abstract qualities. But at some point, I turn the photograph face down so not to be overly influenced by it. By comparison, when I look at a thumbnail sketch, it becomes animated to me, recalling that exact moment, the warmth of the sun, the smell of honeysuckle, a chorus of baby birds chirping to be fed. It brings back my state of mind, my thoughts, and feelings when I was there.
When I first saw one of Liz's Italian landscapes on Facebook, I thought she had posted a study by Velázquez. Actually, she had gone to Italy in 2018. She was just getting into a painting rhythm when it was time to leave, and planned on returning in 2020, but the pandemic nixed that idea. I asked her why she used the circular format. It turns out that after her parents died, she found a set of compasses that her mother owned when she did a year of art school many years ago.
So I decided to use my mother's compass and make these paintings circular as homage to her and a challenge to myself.
Liz, how has the experience of painting for 4 decades affected you?
The most profound change in my evolution as an artist is that I am seeing more than I have ever before. Having spent so many years looking deeply, I am now better able to see nuance in the world, to see beyond its surface. It's like seeing into or seeing through. I can intuitively grasp a complicated set of visual stimuli and reduce it to its basic core. This ultimately gives me a sense of freedom. I'm not struggling to look, but delight in what I see. This entire process inspires me.
Liz and I talked about how a painting is both an image of something and also a physical object, and how her work is
about the visual language employed in making a painting. There is a physicality to the paint and how it lays on the support, be it canvas or panel or even paper. Thick paint can create texture, but even thin, transparent paint on a smooth surface has a physicality to it, via its application, its natural properties, even with its limitations. I seek that physicality in my own paintings and in other people's paintings. To me, the most important aspect of painting is how the physical qualities of the object express the image.
Tell me about some of your recent work that's not in your show, like the portraits.
I call some of the portraits character studies. These are self-portraits that have aspects of people I have known, or are personality types from observation that emerge subconsciously when I'm painting. They are painted from life in front of a mirror. They are generally small, 6 by 6 inches average, oil on wood or canvas mounted on wood. Some of my newer ones with the unusual hairstyles are inspired by old master paintings. Those are actually acrylic, a medium I began experimenting with more and more over the pandemic. These grew out of a series of small eye studies I began doing to reset myself from the pandemic isolation. I've been drawing eyes all my life, though, even as a child. Some of the eyes pay homage to the old masters, some are of friends, though most are entirely invented.
What are you thinking about when you paint?
There are so many decisions that go into making a painting. Most are conscious, but sometimes accidents happen. Keeping it is a decision if it works to the painting's advantage. These choices and actions comprise an experience, not just for the artist, but also for the viewer.
So remember, if you are anywhere near Altoona before December 4th, treat yourself to the wonderful experience of Elizabeth Wilson, Spirit of Place.
Thanks, John. And sincere thanks to the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art. Special thanks to Hannah Harley, Site Director, Sama Altoona.